Okay. Now, last time, we had amassed our party. We have assembled a vast array of skills. We have, we've got all of Osa's skills here. We have Samari's skills. We have all of Marina's skills. We have, I think, Henrik's skills. Last time we picked up photosynthesis, greater photosynthesis. We have brain flower and we have heart flower. All those together going to be real useful in getting ready for the final. Our party is getting assembled. Looks like Abella is still recovering from hunger. Let's feed her something just to see if it breaks the sequence there. We're gonna leave Levi here because, you know, he's been through enough. And we're just gonna grab ourselves a little drink first. Today's a sad day. I'm sorry to hear that, Val. Let's have ourselves, I don't think we've had a dry martini yet. You take a sip from the delicate glass covered in slight frost. The ice-cold drink creates a refreshing initial impression as the bitterness of the gin kicks you with its liquor taste. Nothing directly bad happened to you, more like very disappointed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything you want to talk about? As your local bartender? Quickly, vermouth in the drink takes over, however, as its sweetness becomes more dominant in the aftertaste. The drink is doing a fine balancing act between being a dry martini and a wet martini. Just a little bit more vermouth and you couldn't drink the dry anymore with good conscience. Already ranted on Blue Sky? Well, hey, I'm glad you got it out. Not that it's a complaint. The drink is really quite remarkable, wet or dry. On your second sip, you notice some of the finer nuances of the drink. The mild aftertaste of saline from the olives. Is that lemon zest you taste? Before you know it, the small glass is empty, and all you have left of the drink are the warm memories. Okay, we've got a good party here. We have Marina equipped with a meat mallet. We can swap to a gun at any point. We could equip her with Sabbath, but I do like the meat mallet for the fact that it does good bludgeoning damage. She's got a death mask, chainmail dress, which I think is pretty much the best thing that we could give her right now. Although the yellow mage robes would have better magical defense, I don't really have anything in the way of attack. The Chak is good for a more magical attack, as is the molded doll, and the small things amulet means 2 turns. We've got the pipe wrench on Abella, which we will hold on there until the final boss. Pinecone Pig will help us pick up more stuff. Olivia has the katana here, and you know, death mask. She's got herself a chainmail dress. I think is probably the best thing to give her. Shield of the 4. Shield of the 4 is nice. But, yeah, I think the Shield of the 4 is just good all-round defense, so I'll keep that on there. Pigskin Mask is kind of eh. We'll give her the Ring of Wraiths. A little bit less defense, but she will just regenerate. And then Dan over here, Surgle Spear, and is otherwise just pretty well equipped to hit people really hard. I love that the doctor is our main damage dealer. So much flavor text in this game. You know how much care is put into it. Oh, absolutely. Whoop. Okay. Oh, okay. I think we need to leave the head on the creature if we're going to plant a brain flower or a heart flower. I've been very busy sawing off heads, so I don't know how much left we have to actually harvest that. But we'll see. There's plenty of enemies deeper on. Because the elite soldiers of the Bremen Army are going to be waiting for us. Thank you for streaking my chat, Life Forcer. On masochism mode, those planks will sometimes have nails in them. Okay. Here we go. Wasn't there a bell end around here somewhere? Being so much flavor text on top of being mechanically heavy mechanical depth game, not even taking into account the music and art, right? Like RPG Maker games, you know, they have a lot going on under the hood, and if you aren't balancing all of those things, then it's, you know, you end up potentially having the difference between a good game and a game that's just okay. Or even just, you know, if you can get everything right, then you get something truly great like Termina. Like you can tell that this was made by somebody who spent like hundreds, if not thousands of hours of putting painstaking detail in. If not, someone who is living this. This is a labor of love in every respect. And sure, it has plenty of jank in places, but what RPG Maker game made by one person doesn't have that? I mean, Leif Ian Anderson has been putting in work on Wooden Ocean for over a decade, and that still has a ton of jank. Ah, the blue butterflies. Is this another bunker? So interesting. Judging from how the railway tracks have been blocked with a cave-in, I think this was all all this was meant to remain hidden. So much jank as the size and scope of changes in RPG Maker. Like, there is so much that has been that has been shoved into this. Like, the hunger mechanic isn't even a thing in RPG Maker. Every character here is technically level 2, and the hunger mechanic is just an XP mechanic, and there is a hard cap at like 99.99 XP to prevent the characters from leveling up. Because then, some really jank shit happens. Obviously, it's not a natural cave-in. That means someone used explosive charges or something. Someone wanted to dig down here real badly. But what for? Having a bad feeling about this place. Let's check the connection. West tel electroscope. On. East tel electroscope. On. East 2 tel electroscope. On. Connection status okay. With all 3 telelectroscopes activated, we can head in. Unfortunately for our characters, this is a one-way trip. This dark bunker just became your tomb. So now, we have to force our way through and find ourselves an ending. So this, we can tell, was made by the Eastern Union. This is Russian for... I'm pretty sure this is White Bunker. Like the Fear and Hunger ending. Yep, eventually, you get yourselves to a point where there's no way out but through. Oh my, that door startled me. I guess now we have to delve deeper just to find a way out. It's not exactly reassuring to know how much trouble we went through to get that door open for the first time. What's the likelihood that someone else goes through the same trouble anytime soon? Like, before our oxygen, water, or food runs out? Surely there's another way out, right? Right? Or another way to open the doors? Oh, a light switch. That's something else that is, you know, kind of wild in RPG Maker, is just how much work goes into the lighting and everything. So we have Old Sight and Logic. We should check this place out in case there's anything worth taking. There are only various spare parts and trinkets on the shelf. Nothing looks particularly useful to you. Oh shit. See that guy there? That's a Bremen elite trooper. You see what he's armed with? Just a fucking flamethrower. Shit. Oh, that was close. So if you get hit by the flamethrower, you die. Slowly. Luckily, we barely escaped that. But now he has lost his arms, we can just beat him the hell up. Oh hey, arm guards. You know, oh, he's already got the salmon snake rune, so we don't need that for Dan. You know what, we could replace the Shield of the Form with the arm guards, because the last thing we need is to have poor Olivia lose an arm at this point. Medical diagnosis. Something unnatural about the physique of this trooper. I can't quite put a finger on what it is. Their anatomy is just from an uncanny valley, if that makes sense. All the proportions look off just a little bit. They don't seem to suffer from similar symptoms as the villagers and the locals in the city, though. This is something else. Could it be because of some unholy Bremen experiments? Oh, thank you, baby. Waifu has brought me, Frosty. Off-brand Slurpee. Yes. This definitely leads to the conclusion that these things are marriages of flesh, because why wouldn't Lagarde make the Bremen Army do marriages of flesh? He knows all about that shit. You know what? Just in case we need any mind-altering status, put a brain flower on them.
There's another treat in the freezer for you, but it might need a couple minutes.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Give me head. Damn it. Okay. Gasoline. Miscellaneous documents are laid on the table. You find brain diagram document among the papers. This document page is one of many. You do not have the previous page, so it's difficult to make out the full context of the document. The modern science and medicine is still limited on the subject. There is a debate if science will ever be capable of calculating the necessary amounts of information. Human mind and soul, after all, are so complex that it is not quantifiable by any computer. Thus, it might not be possible to replace the logic even as the technology advances in coming decades. Likewise, it is also impossible for human mind to calculate the mathematical formulas in a conscious state. That is why it's necessary for the subject to be in a lucid dreaming state at all times. The text where one YouTuber found out Miro watches his videos. Nice. You know, I would fucking lose it if Miro came in. I would probably have nothing constructive to say, but still. That is when both conscious and unconscious mind are activated. That is when the processing power of the human mind is at its fullest potential. The subject will be hooked to the telectroscope. The engine and the subject from the logic center together. The electronic signals that occur in the subject's brain are converted to ones and zeros, blurring the line between a human and a machine. So, yeah, according to what we just read, it sounds like whatever is being done down here is hoping to use the unconscious power of human brains to, as basically computers, which, which was the actual plot of the original Matrix movie, or well, of the books of the Matrix. This is why I suspect Fear and Hunger 3 will be transhumanist nightmare. Yes, there's definitely something to say about like collectivism and what it means to surpass human limits, and what happens when, people are forced to join a collective that they didn't necessarily want to be part of. This is where we were in the beginning, where they were trying to craft the Cube of the Depths. It seems like they were attempting to, or at least it's a mirror of it. Looks like they were trying to access Mahabra. The path here has caved in, or it has been demolished on purpose. I think they wanted to hide what they were up to here. I think that Fear and Hunger 3 will also have the new gods come back en masse. That they may form a new faction of their own. Yo, shit. Because we saw what happened when, we saw what happened in the beginning. They were forcing the main character to make cubes of the depths. Because the new gods want to be free of the whole. They don't want to spend eternity just stuck with each other's company. Lol. Lamau. Motherfucker's still got his rifle arm. I suspect the girl in the dress takes you here for something, and Percola just takes you out and puts you in the Termina Festival to not allow you to reach it. There is a lot to be said for the idea that that Percola is simply here to prevent you from reaching this place. Thank you for the head pats, Minkus. Yeah, Percola is here to try and prevent more humans from, you know, ascending. Because if there's one thing that Alma did, it was shake up the Divine Order, and they don't want any more, you know, gods at the family dinner table. 3 Termina festivals back to back to prevent logic to happen, and yet it played right into their hands. The cultists of the Logic God used the power of the moon to enhance their computers. The telectroscopes would never have been as powerful as they needed to be were it not for the exposure of the moon god's power to them. They used the power of remnants of gods against them. As a sanity recovering effect when ingested, it is said that pollen of a brain flower has the opposite effect and often takes hold of its new host. Look at that. Complete mind regeneration. This place was clearly a massive undertaking. Like the amount of logistics here of, you know, the amount of people who were clearly expected to live down here long enough to make this happen. Shit. I thought the one getting replaced was Venushka as the power of humanity and logic replaced nature. There's definitely something to be said for that. That's double black orb. I'm gonna double black orb this door over and over. It would also explain the rumors that Fear and Hunger 3 is going to be a cyberpunk game. Oh, okay, we could have just come around the other way. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. More like 8 times black orb, yup. There are some electric panels here, but you have no idea of their purpose. Some kind of furnace here? Cyberpunk means something else more specific. Yeah, that is fair, but, you know, I feel like there's definitely going to be that focus on, you know, like transhumanism and, like, and like collectivism versus individualism, because sure, you know, the logic god may have arisen, spoilers, in this one, but that doesn't mean that the sulfur cult isn't also still out there. Burn. Oh wait, shit, we're all on fire. This may have been a slight miscalculation. But hey, we all get an extra turn to do something. Man, he really can just take all that damage. Can't defend from a fucking black orb, though. Ooh, Bremen Elite helmet and chestplate. Their physical defense from shield boost is so annoying, right? This is why Black Orb is everything. And that is why you Black Orb everything. Because at the end of the day, there's a whole lot of physical defense. And guns sure are easier to use. But when you have that kind of armor, Black Orb still goes around right back to being good. Door won't budge. Welcome back, Tara. We are killing some Bremen troopers, but you know, who gives a shit? They're Nazis. Yes, exactly. That was the thing I said. Shields are nothing to the power of a Dance Macabre. Exactly. Look at this place. With this kind of, like, all we're looking at is like a couple of different layers of 2D graphics, but Miro still manages to get a really good feeling of perspective here. When all of this is finally over, I'll retreat to nature. That's the only place where I feel at home. I've had enough of these man-made nightmares and endless concrete tunnels. A lot of things you can do with a black orb and a Bremen Elite soldier. What to do when all this is just a bad, distant memory? I have simple dreams in life, really. I just like to meet someone, start a family. You know, live a very regular, ordinary life. I mean, that's fair. She's been part of the Nameless Liberty Underground for so long. I imagine, yeah, she does just settle down. Live the life that has been denied her by constant war. I've seen enough of the world. I'll head straight back to Odegaard and its small, cozy small town atmosphere. What'll I do once we're done? To be honest, still have unfinished business here. Can't even think what I'd do after all this. If such time even comes. Getting terrified. Oh, well, let's have some vodka. Last thing we need is people developing panophobia before the end. Hey folks, let's get fucked up to block out the nightmares. Condensed blue. A condensed bowl of blue herbs recovers a great amount of health when digested. That's kind of cool. Yes, technology has advanced to a point where a person can kill with little training. But that requires a massive amount of equipment that would be hard to carry around. You carry Black Orb around with you and it doesn't weigh anything. Yep, they each have their own circumstances in which they're useful. Magic gets to the point where if you have enough time and preparation, you can absolutely bring more devastation to your opponents than they can possibly fathom. But you know, anybody can point a giant cannon at you and just end your existence. Black Orb, aka Orb. I wonder. Still think, wow, you have the best drunk mechanic. The more drunk you are, the game UI shows your enemy is as being lower level than they are. You know what? Let's see if he has anything to say. I've never actually tried asking. What is going on here? The trooper shows absolutely no reaction to your words. Okay, we give it a try. Lol. Lamau. Look, they all keep saying that we should just debate them. We tried debating them, it didn't work. Therefore, look at that. Dance Macabre is just terrifyingly powerful at this point. Give me head. I feel Black Orb is a good debate. True. Classic Bremen. Don't engage in free market of ideas when confronted. Right? They keep talking about wanting to have the free market, you know, open ideas discourse, something. But the moment we actually give them that, huh? Did we not have enough gasoline? If we can't win now because we don't have enough gasoline, I'm gonna be pissed. Fucking Bremen scum. They claim it. Yeah, I feel like these Bremen elite troopers are not debating in good faith. They're using these, they're just stonewalling. Classic logical fallacy. Brain flower. Num 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 num. It's just a big echo chamber. I mean, it even echoes really well. I've seen people complaining about Blue Sky lately, being like, oh, it's just a lefty echo chamber. I'm like, okay. Is there something wrong with having spaces that aren't invaded by Nazis?
Hey, Lola.
Hi, Chortling Bird. How you doing? Thank you for that, Pat. Distant noises echo from somewhere. That core sound is worrying if you are familiar with the first Fear and Hunger game. But it's just this guy. This bizarre creature is struggling just to live. Its breath seems heavy. The human part of the thing appears dead. Only the crow-like growth on its back is still alive and kicking. It's like it's a shitty, you know, off-brand crow mauler. If you're not careful, it might peck you. So yeah, that is just a reference to the original Fear and Hunger, where the crow mauler would peck people's heads clean off. It is, yeah, just a shitty off-brand crow mauler that we got off of Temu. Another gasoline canister. I still haven't found a way to recreate the chrome mauler. Right, because the chrome mauler was created when a guy went insane trying to bring order to the dungeons of fear and hunger. Like it was not an intentional thing. It certainly isn't like a marriage of flesh or anything. More brain flower. Hi, Kyle Marshika. Did they ever explain that second chromola in the first game? I don't know if they did. I think it's just, you know, maybe it's something created by the God of the Depths. Okay, everyone's starting to feel a little hunky. Would you get upset if you didn't have enough gas? I would be pretty upset, but then it seems like the game is making sure that there is exactly enough gasoline to progress. And then there's this asshole. Okay. You gotta be real careful here. Those flamethrower guys have the ability, like I said before, to literally just end your run. I want to see if this one has any different dialogue while we're breaking his legs. Yeah, no. Same as the others. Lol. Lamau. But that it exists in the collective consciousness, so the blueprints for the chromola exist somewhere? I could see that. After all, maybe the God of the Depths truly does know everything in some way. See, look here. They've given us plenty of Bremen elite troopers to steal the guns and bullets from. Blueprints with the friends we made along the way. It thinks it's hot just because his chest plate has nipples. What does he think he is? Batman from Batman and Robin? Look at these computers. Vast amounts of, for the time, advanced computing power. Telelectroscope and logic. Telelectroscope, an interconnected computerized system which documents our lives and extracts information from our consciousness. Right? Let people have the bat nipples and bat asses. The data is extracted from banks of every person in the whole human system. Logic. Logic works as the center of the telelectroscope, a core in this world where all our knowledge and inspiration comes from and goes to. Yeah, a whole 8, bits of RAM. A data tank which possesses all knowledge, and it provides people with said information as they need it. They were thinking of the internet before it even existed. The future of telelectroscope. People become obsessed with these fake friends who exist in the walls. Ultimately, people will begin to shun personal contact, preferring to interact with each other via machine technology. Haha, what a stupid fantasy, right? Bunker full of computers and not all of them combined can run Doom. Probably has like a 1 frame rate, 1 FPS though. Gawk, is this true? People will stay in the world created by our shared consciousness. The logic is designed so that each individual human being in the system will affect the surrounding world, thus creating a shared paradise, a shared consensus. And now, like, listening to that, I feel a little trepidation for the future of, like, that, like, rather than actually influencing the world around it, will this logic god just, once it's absorbed everything, just, these, people will essentially be in a matrix of their own design and not care about anything else? Will they want to absorb more people, or will they be fine with their little instrumentality? Oh, thank you, Pinecone Pig. Oh shit, yeah, Pinecone Pig, my beloved. If I use the if I use it now, then Marina will get panophobia, so it's maybe the Matrix good, like this world is so messed up they'll retreat into a better one with a benevolent question mark god. And I suppose that, like, maybe it is the, like, on the one hand I do have reservations. On the other, it may be the best chance that people will get. Because, these people know how awful the world is. Who could blame them for wanting to retreat into a world of their own making? Look at Pathologic with its polyhedron. Who would, metal boxes? Who could blame them for seeing a machine that creates infinite paradise and not want them, and, like, not blame them for wanting to join it and abandon the world? But then maybe its combined computing power needs more people. What if it does disgorge the occasional prophet of the machine god looking for, like, new people to join its collective? Maybe a botanical garden or a greenhouse for exotic flowers. I would love to travel and see the full bloom of nature around the world. Although, seeing all this tech, it is very inspirational to see what you can achieve. Maybe I'll return to a school. There's still much to learn, obviously. Basic mechanics seems so outdated after witnessing all this. I feel like the Logic project is misguided and evil was done to make it, but with her now existing, I don't know, hope she's nice, I guess? See, we say that, but was that not also the hope for the god of fear and hunger? That, a god created out of humanity, born from its, suffering, stealing power from the gods. Did we not hope then that the next age would be kind? But I guess hope is really all we have. Looks like it looks like they're making a body for this machine god. I think it's more that the girl learned at least start as a struggle being the main factor to evolve humanity. yeah, fear and hunger is basically, perhaps fear and hunger is the shoulders, like the giant shoulders on which we stand. Yeah, I can see that, Kyle, and much like pathologic, um, being born into the industrial age is, you know, birth is a traumatic and terrifying process. It's, it is always going to hurt on some level, but so like there is no growth without pain. It hurts to outgrow swaddling clothes. So yeah, maybe there is definitely something to be said. The cruel age did bring people some good, There, it brought things like wheelchairs. It brought mass production. It brought, radio. It brought, you know, it brought towns and cities. It brought us modern medicine. But then it also did bring war on an industrial scale. It is a time of miracles and monsters. Speaking of miracles and monsters, we are about to encounter one ourselves. It's a good thing I've been saving this book of enlightenment. We're going to take a look at that terrifying epiphany of the cruel age in a moment. But first, I'm gonna take a little bathroom break. Everybody get up, stretch your legs, do whatever it is you need to do, and we will be right back. Okay, we're back. You know, I I like to think that, we can be better and that, we can, yeah, I like to think that we can be better. That we have had several times throughout our history in living memory where things have gotten better for people and, for minorities, and that, progress has been pushed forward inch by agonizing inch, but goddamn is it difficult to actually get us there. I get why people are not always that hopeful. You know what, as much as having the extra magic is useful, I think we need to give Marina the battle stone, just so she is regenerating some mind. Oh hey. The masked army officer gives you a flirtatious smile and seductively waves you to follow her. I think we all did, Tara. Now this is the true horrifying culmination of the cruel age. Looking at the inside of this thing, you can see that this is a human hydra. A whole bunch of bodies mass married together, with the, fused with terrifying firepower. Plus, if you look at it, it's like the average hetero couple just starting out polyamory. We're just gonna concentrate everything on the Sylvian Trooper because if she is allowed to get off her first attack, then we're kind of fucked. Not gonna lie, a bit shook by its appearance right now. Yep, that's why I put the content warnings up. Fear and Hunger is definitely a horror game for a reason. Okay, we have confused the platoon. Now it should not be able to get its, it should not be able to use its cannon. It's either lady representing an elite hedonist class while she barks and churns the masses into army paste. That's fair. It's definitely the, like I said, it's the culmination of the of like occult experimentation and World War I technology and like industrial killing power. Truly horrifying. But without the Sylvian Trooper to coordinate its attacks, it cannot fire its cannon. Oh, wait, no. Apparently it can take aim. Oh, no, wait. Okay. Okay, it just cannot fire its cannon, but it can charge. You know what? I'll take that over getting the shit kicked out of us by the 105mm cannon. So a playthrough of this once where the guy had burned all his saves and was bashing his head repeatedly on these 3 bosses where he clearly wasn't prepared for them. I think that's wild that anybody would get this far into a Fear and Hunger game and not, you know, try and prepare. You know, just like this is every fight in this game is basically a boss battle. Set it on fire. Give me a head. Okay. Maybe if we... Maybe it does the cannon if we fail the coin flip. Just 8, so I'm safe from one of these. Holy crap. Hi there, Necromancer. How you doing? Fear got you, fair enough. Yeah, say hello to the platoon. It's like a human Hydra with a tank in it. Well, with an artillery piece in it. Maybe afraid, but at least you're not hungry. Holy shit, that was the katana winning on the crits once again. The hulking thing is dead now. The Sylvian Trooper doesn't exactly have any crevices in her body to hide any loot. It's hard to tell where the latex suit ends and the trooper begins, but the tight skin outfit does reveal the muscular physique of this person. There is something slightly uncanny about her proportions, but she's definitely one of the more normal foes we've faced so far. That's refreshing, I guess? Brainflower. It's what she would want. She would want us to lay down our seed in her. This game is on the list of things I know a lot about, but never played. Honestly, I feel like there's a big, I feel like there's a big part of this fan base which is going to experience this through other people, and that's fine. You know, I think it's perfectly fine to want to experience a game, but like not being good with horror games, not enjoying say like turn-based games, or just it being way too difficult for you. And that's okay. And so, you know, but you can enjoy the lore, you can enjoy the story, the setting, the premise. You can examine its themes, you can enjoy its music, you can appreciate its mechanics from afar. And that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Some people are like that with Dark Souls. I I do not like Souls games. I find them to be clunky and unintuitive and repetitive and full of grind, and you know the mechanics seem like deliberately slow and obtuse and confusing, and you know the games are full of like backtracking nonsense. And like, but I will see people who say that's the point, and I'm like, okay, more power to you, fill your boots. I can appreciate the lore of, you know, a universe that is trapped repeating the same cycles because a bunch of centrists want to, you know, keep trying the same thing that, you know, kind of worked but maybe didn't, etc. You know, people who will, you know, compete for the last scrap of light in a dying system rather than, you know, trying something new. Like, yeah, it's a good setting. I would just never play the games myself. Sitting in front of your computer doing nothing is can't play modded Minecraft because of a RAM bottleneck. Shit, I hope you can get that figured out. New thing to try is Molotovs. Exactly. I mean, after all, people tell us that the end of the Age of Fire will come, like after the Age of Fire will come the Dark Age. But you have to examine who's telling us that the age that comes after ours is the Dark Age. It's the people who don't. It's the people who are currently ruling in the Age of Fire. The people who are ruling in the Age of Fire are telling you, hey, no, 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 no. You don't want us to give up our control. You know, everything's fine with us in control. Just imagine how horrible it would be if we weren't in control. The age of man? No, no, no. The age of dark.
It's a raid.
Robbie, thank you so much for the raid. For those who don't know me, my name is Lola, the world's only Molotov cocktail VTuber. I checked, and today we are playing some Fear and Hunger Termina, and we're taking a shot at the final bosses here. What were you what were you writing?
Lounge. Please enjoy your stay.
Hi there, Moon Queen Wolf. I heard Dark Souls lore discussion. Yeah, we were discussing the contrast between people who enjoy the lore of a series but don't want to engage in the gameplay. That's, you know, for me, that's Dark Souls. I have no interest in the Dark Souls gameplay, but I can appreciate its story. Just like how a lot of people who play, like a lot of people who are familiar with Fear and Hunger could never play it themselves, and that's okay. Reading The Tower of the Elephant by Robert E. Howard. I am unfamiliar with that one. Tell me a little about it. So here, now, we are in the Hall of the New Gods. Finally. There's Francois. And there's, Chambara. The climax. Death of the Innocents. Birth of the True God. Is that battle? humanity sheds its skin. I think that might have been, it was either Battle or it was Nilvan. There he is, Kaiser himself, ruler of the Bremen Army. Or, if you're familiar with the lore, it's Lagarde from Fear and Hunger 1. Doesn't look bad for 500 years and also being murdered and turned into a ghoul. You are late, you know. If you've come to witness the birth of the new era, the birth of a new god. Hi, Jamie. Brought you out of hiding, did I? How you doing, hun? The logic, the machine god, is online. Are you talking about yourself? Me? Reveal is cool. Man looks so defeated, like a guy who got everything he wanted and hated it. Right? He came all this way, perhaps to even make himself part of the machine god, and he realizes that he's too late. He is he has waited hundreds of years again to see himself become the Ascendant One, to lead humanity into a golden age, and he's been beaten to it again. I'm an Age of Fire hater. The first flame being linked far past its natural cycle is why the world is such in a desolate and warped state, why the flow of time and connection between worlds is so shaky, and the people selling the narrative that keeping it is good actually TM are either the small handful in power or those sucking up to them. And so far I've always figured the non-fire endings are better outcomes of the world. Yeah, and there are definitely some very real analogies that could be made to things in the real world based off of that. But I am a safe, apolitical streamer and not a brand risk. Wink. Yeah, this is definitely not Lagarde. That is a cruel joke the fate has played on me time and time again. At one point in time, I did not think I would be the one to lead us all to the promised land. My ego led me to believe I would be the one true god worshipped in the coming age. But alas, the world is much too capricious and chaotic. It was never for me to rule. Just pictured someone saying this is the Age of Fire, and it cuts to a bunch of people running around while on fire screaming. Exactly, there are no politics in Funga. Oh, and by the way, whoever it was who followed earlier, thank you for following. Follows are anonymous, but always appreciated. Feel free to hang out and chat if you want, but never feel obligated. This is the age of earth, wind, and fire. Long ago, the four elements were in harmony, but then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. But chaos itself is not something to be dreaded. Chaos is a transitional phase. Where it leads determines whether that chaos is a negative force or not. Change may not always bring good things, but change itself is a good thing. Hi, Wiccanist, how you doing? No video games I like have a single gross icky politic. Crazy one of me is, yes, some people are very stupid. Since I've embraced the chaos, I've even come to surprise myself. I was able to abandon my ego and leave that miserable being endlessly wandering in the dark green. Myself that remains only aims for the betterment of mankind and altruistic love. My role in the greater scheme of things was to arrange all the necessary chess pieces to their places and set the wheels in motion instead. Fallout is all about how giant nuke robot cool. Oh, very true, very true. I am at peace with my role at this point. So, no, the true god I talk about is not me. Am I going to try Maso mode next? I might, but I'm definitely going to take a break from this before I do. Fate hampered my plans in the form of a young worman, a person who was completely clueless of the power struggles of the old world. My name's Kaiser, and I like altruism. I'm the head of a Nazi empire. She became the symbol of our evolution by pure coincidence. Maybe it is only fitting that a youngling like her would lead the world to a new tomorrow. If it yearns to change, the world needs to forget the past, me included. The breath of the machine god is still frail, however. Not the younglings, the women and the children too. In her current fragile state, I cannot let you near. So prepare yourself. Hey, you didn't let me prepare myself. Wow. Wow. The younglings had it. He tried throwing the casket. Unfortunately, he is, unfortunately, I ran out of them. Alright. Let's take off his head. No, wait, we'll take off the arm. Last thing we need is the sword. Same boss music from the first game. Yes. Still really fucking good, though. He's weak against otherworldly. Fucking noob. Asterisk. He gets to cast loving whispers on himself. Sulfur is sad that you choose to ignore his game, right? Ooh, that was nasty. Okay, okay. Let's do some flash. I hear Yellow King in the Fropolo's voice whenever you see Kaiser. Oh look, if we cast Rot on him, you actually see the fetid skin beneath. You get to see that he truly is the Lagarde creature that Jean brought back to life. I'll honor your valiant efforts by not lowering myself to your trash-talking standards. I'm not trash-talking. I just want to know why we fight. I cannot let you pass. It's that simple. Now, on guard. On le guard. Ow. Oh no, leg sweep! It's a good thing we didn't lose any of our legs. I would have been pissed. It's 100% effective against doors. I know he's got the fucking OP skills from the previous game. It's not allowed. Have a good night, Tibbs. Thanks for being here. Holy shit, Dance Macabre is so good. You know what? I'm gonna talk to him again. Why not? God, this fucks so hard, though. Wow. It's kind of impossible with Olivia to lose legs. I mean, she can lose legs, but it just doesn't affect her, because, you know, what's she gonna do? Are you really the Kaiser of Bremen? That's right. It is the name I've adopted in modern times. It is not ideal, but among the options I had, I felt it the most appropriate. Ow. Wow. Wow. Alright, healing whispers. Let's go. Honestly, Olivia is the one person who can lose her legs and not be bothered by it. Live, loving. I love you, Jamie. Congrats on getting married, by the way. Okay, does he lose balance now? Oh shit, he's doing Black Orb? That's not allowed. Oh shit. Okay, okay. Kaiser loses his balance. Alright. We've fucked around long enough. We Black Orb the head. Yeah, if she loses an arm, she just becomes painfully slow. Alright. Enough fucking around. We go for headshots. Paperwork is done, now I have the self-uniting ceremony to do. Aw. I hope that's good for you. She eat the leg. Cut off both legs, eat them both. So if we had Nasra in our party at this point, if we had Nasra in our party and we were Osa, then he would lose his absolute shit at this point. He'd be like, why the fuck did you let him run away, you slur? I think he says slurs, but he's like, why the fuck did you let him get away? Now it'll be centuries before I can find him again. You know, I don't think we can really cancel Nasra, the doom and terror of modern man, though, for saying slurs, because he, you know, what are we gonna do about it? Why would a person named Nasra say slurs? Said Aspen. Jesus. No, Lagarde basically leaves. He's mush now, but you know, he I believe he can regenerate elsewhere. Wasn't Nasra gay? I mean, I feel like for Nasra, the whole idea of gay or straight or whatever is just just doesn't make sense anymore. We're gonna do first flesh puppetry. And I'm gonna say, instead of double black orb, we're gonna do, we'll have greater black orb and double roots that reap. Because the downside to the double spell is it has a randomized effect. But having a random target is no matter for roots that reap because it affects everyone. Long live the new Flash. You know, I've never tried talking to the machine god. Let's give it a go. Logic. try and debate it with facts and itself. The machine doesn't seem to react to your talk in any way. Do you understand me? No reaction. Well, guess we beat it up then. Tell it to divide by 0. Tell it this statement is false. Alright, so you can see now it's got a whole bunch of tanks here. Those will help it in some way, and I don't know what. Double roots that reap. Let's go. Best not to find out exactly. This music may sound familiar to some of you. That's the music from Mahabra. Just like that, all the tanks are gone. They're exhaust ports. Watch out for the central exhaust port. Yeah, it really does just, it just kind of takes you out of time and space for a little, for a minute here. How? The exhaust system is running at full force. I don't have enough for healing, Whispers. Okay. We'll keep attacking and hope for the best. We've still got plenty of light blue vials, though. We're fully revved up. Let's keep going. Even though we've only really been into Funga for a year or two. I mean, that's kind of the same. Yes, we refer to Enki as Edgy Dave. Eat bugs, do crime. Red Arc X2. Ooh. Yes, his sister's name is Edgy Girl Dave. As it should be. Okay, we do have a battle stone. So that's not really helping a whole lot. Alright, we're gonna wrench toss just to see if we can stun this thing. Okay, you know what? Let's just equip a different weapon. Gun. Yeah, that did not stun it, so yeah. When the wrench fails, go for the gun. Ow. Okay, the exhaust system is fully powered up. I'm surprised that there's no, like, that I haven't regenerated anything. Alright, we gotta take out the tanks real quick. Yes, Tanaka is alive. At least last we checked. Yeah, fuck those extra tanks. You know what? Brown Vial. Why not? We're here. This is the last fight. We may as well go all out. Hi, Mono. How you doing? It's good to see you. Wait, there's one more tank. Ah, it was out of sight. But there are two tanks. Whoop. Why is she breaking it down on the left? She has an ability called Dance Macabre, which slowly increases her magic attack over time, the more she do the dance. Trans vibe started hitting. True, because yeah, Marina is trans. All right, well, since it doesn't seem to be working, we'll do pyromancy trick. Did you know if you rev up to 3 so that you get a double attack, it only consumes 1 bullet with Abella's gun? Strong. Yeah, and when she has that circular saw, she is just an absolute beast. Okay, let's start tossing back these mixed herbs because goddamn, everybody is flagging here. Big Wormen, yes. Men of Wur. Oh shit, Dan, no! Okay, she's taking some really good damage over time, though. Should have brought more brain flowers. Doesn't she have multiple forms? Maybe. If that's the case, we may be a little bit screwed. More strength, more speed. Drink the brown vial that's made with meth. Ow. Exhaust system's heating up. Okay, okay. Abella's more likely to survive because she's got the Leechmonger ring on. Logic here, if you hit the 20th turn, she goes into her true form. Okay. We just have to beat it the fuck up. Luckily it's burning, so we should be able to do enough damage over time to prevent that from happening. Fingers crossed. Ow. We won! Seems odd design to me, a boss that incentivizes you to beat it before you get to see the cool bit. I suppose. Fucking won. The conscience of consensus. Just an avatar for the stream of thought. Join me in the promised land. And then we descend into the artificial green. The god spawn stuff that humanity created for itself to make its own god, its own collective. Feels like you're floating in nothingness. Empathy and hope fill you from inside out. You've gone through enough. Now you can rest. Just close your eyes and let the warm waves wash you away. Pure hopium. I wonder. I feel like this kind of new god would make so many enemies in the world of fear and hunger. A creature of empathy and hope, born of the collectiveness of thousands of people, you know, hoping for a better tomorrow. I think that this thing would have many, many enemies. So yeah, the game doesn't tell you can move forward at this point, but if you do, you see countless other humans, all linked, sharing thoughts. I thought we would too, but I guess, yeah, if Olivia's the main character, then yeah, you find out that that is her sister. Ending A, the Machine God. So, looks like August, Levi, Karen, Marco, and Tanaka were the only ones to survive. But you know what? Getting Tanaka to survive, I count that as a win all by itself. I could definitely see that, Kyle. 5 managed to survive through all the horrors. Marina and the others that we brought in have definitely gone on to their own form of existence. Alive, not in the traditional sense. Yeah, mad props to Miro for making this amazing game. Hi Runia, how you doing? What endings would I want to go for next? I don't know, like the other endings are basically just murdering everyone, so I don't know if I want to do those ones. 5 survived and 4 super duper survived. Suffering through cramps. Aw, that sucks. I'm suffering through the heat. But you know, I can imagine what cramps are like for us translators. Just like, oh no, that hurts so much. Oh, that's so affirming. Yeah, ow. Rancid Circle is only a fan depiction of the fictional circle species. Rontiel was based on a design by Chester. Heartless One was based on a design by Ketsuiki Heartless Angel. Sylvian Trooper and Platoon were based on a design by Vlad Vlastori Svetkov. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, please feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all the cool things that make the algorithm go brr. And a big shout out to my tier 2 subscribers, Valtteri and Fizzypuff. However you support me, it helps me make as much content as I can. So, thank you once again for watching, and remember that the world is only as dark as we allow it to be. So, light it up.